get up, it's time to slam now. We got a real jab going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance, do your chance at the Space Jam. Alright. Oh. Hello everyone, this is Ben Foggins Media Corner back again with a brand new AK After a Store Review episode for today. Welcome to a brand new episode for the series, and for this episode I'm here to talk to you guys about the 2021 live-action animated sports family comedy sequel to the 1996 hit film, which I've already reviewed to celebrate its 25th anniversary. And then you guys can tell I'm wearing the same shirt again. And today, of course, I'm here to talk to you guys about the sequel, and that is Space Jam 2, A New Legacy, or just simply known as Space Jam, A New Legacy. So this film was directed by Malcom D, director of Girls Trip and various other comedy films, which some were hits and some a few misses. But anyway, so yeah, like I said, this is a sequel to Space Jam, and instead of having Michael Jordan returning for the sequel, we have a new basketball player this time, which is LeBron James, which we do learn about his past, him becoming the greatest basketball player of all time. And right now, he is still the greatest basketball player of all time. And he has a son named Dom who is interested in video game designing, and that's what exactly he wants to be. Although for LeBron, he wants his son to follow his footsteps to become the next great basketball player like him, even though they're at odds with each other. So with the differences together, And what happens is they get a tour at Warner Brothers Studios because they want LeBron to basically promote every single property from Warner Brothers. And what happens after that, LeBron and Dom, they get into an argument, and then Dom suddenly gets kidnapped by this new villain named Algae Rhythm, played by Cheadle, who is this artificial intelligent computer that controls the studio, Warner Brothers, and every single property. And he sends LeBron to Toon World, where he meets Bugs Bunny and the rest of the Looney Tunes, and he is forced to team up with them, despite that LeBron wants some top-class players to join his team, because the reason why he's forced to team up with them is forced to team up with the Looney Tunes again this time is to basically take part in a basketball game that's run by Algae Rhythm. And so LeBron is forced to team up with the Looney Tunes as the Toon Squad. So we see them trying to work together as a team, so they basically can go up against Algae Rhythm's team known as the Goon Squad. So they can basically try and win So we see LeBron and the rest of the Toon Squad to basically try and win the basketball game, so they hopefully can rescue Dom from Algae Rhythm. So that's pretty much the story of Space Jam 2: A New Legacy. Now, for me, for the sequel of Space Jam, of course, like I said, I absolutely adored Space Jam. Well, critics back then were kind of mixed on the film. Well, there may be a few who may be mixed on it to this day, but it has gained a massive cult following. Even 25 years later, it still is a cult favorite, and it is one of my favorite childhood movies. And like I said, I've already reviewed that film. If you want to know what I thought of the original Space Jam, you can check it out if you want to. I would much appreciate it. But I heard back in like somewhere in the 2010s decade that I heard there was rumors about they were going to be doing an actual sequel to Space Jam. I kept hearing on and off stuff about it, although I didn't pay much attention to the news until like somewhat in 2020 that we were actually going to get a sequel. And having like no Michael Jordan in this one, and having no Michael Jordan returning in this movie, we had to have a new athlete this time. But it was still a basketball player, but it was the same sport, basketball, but they had to have a different player. So they had to pick up LeBron James. I don't know much about LeBron James because I don't really watch basketball that much. I like playing basketball. I just don't really watch it. I just like playing sports though. I do watch a bit of sports, but it's only the ones I do kind of like the most, which is mostly football. I just don't watch basketball really. But when I saw the trailer for the sequel, I've heard a lot of people were like comparing this movie to Steven Spielberg's Ready Player One, because it's sort of similar, it is set like that, but it's for kids. Despite that, this movie has tons and tons of Warner Brothers references and properties that they're in this movie. Like, say, there's Scooby-Doo, there's King Kong, the Iron Giant, Pennywise the Dancing Clown, The Matrix, Mad Max, Batman, Superman, all that kind of stuff you may know from Warner Brothers. There's a lot of that in this movie. If you didn't see the trailer, you will be just totally shocked out of your mind. And unfortunately, I did not get a chance to see this in the cinemas on opening day because I wasn't feeling that well enough at the time. I unfortunately had COVID, So yeah, unfortunately I couldn't go and see on release day, so I had to wait for a couple days. Um, I had to wait for a couple of days till I got better. So I started getting better, and I did manage to check out the sequel, even though I couldn't see it on opening day because I was sick at the time. But before I did actually see it, I was surprised with the reviews because critics were really negative on this movie, but audiences, however, seemed to really enjoy the sequel. And did I like this one? Did I like this one? Sort of. It's sort of half decent and okay at the same time. But let's just get into my negatives out of the way first before we can get into my positives of what I liked in this movie. So for my issues with this movie, LeBron, I've already heard what people have been talking about him, but here in this movie, he wasn't great in the movie. He wasn't like extremely bad or anything. He was kind of fine. He was fine for a few scenes, but there was some scenes I just kind of didn't feel like he wasn't like what Michael Jordan was like in the original Space Jam. He just didn't feel like that enough to me. But LeBron, though, he seems like a really awesome guy. I heard he's really an awesome guy in real life and a great basketball player. But LeBron, he wasn't like the worst he's not like he's not like the worst actor or anything. There was some moments I thought, like I said, there were some moments I thought were fine, but for the rest of the stuff he was given just didn't feel that good, and just didn't feel like what Michael Jordan was like in the original Space Jam. But again, LeBron, though, he seems like a really awesome guy in real life, though. And Don Cheadle, who plays the villain in this movie, Algorithm, who's a human character this time instead of an animated villain character like we've had in the previous movie, who was voiced by Danny DeVito. Don Cheadle as the villain, he wasn't too bad in the film. I say he was fine. There was some moments I did find him almost memorable enough, but there was some moments I just couldn't remember that much. Although there's a few things I did remember the most, like I said, he controls Warner Brothers with the computers, and he basically wants to delete the tunes and all that. That's kind of the things I remember, but the rest of the moments I just couldn't remember that much about him, though. But Don Cheadle wasn't bad. He was just fine. And for other live action performances, I thought everyone else did fine for the most part. And of course, when we get to see the Looney Tunes are back again, it's great to see them back. Since 2003's Looney Tunes back in action, it's been a while since we've seen them because I was thinking, like, when are we ever going to see those characters again on the big screen? Until they did say we were officially going to get a sequel to this. It was great seeing them back, and of course, I do adore the Looney Tunes as a kid, and I still like them. It's great to see, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Lola, Taz, Sylvester, Tweety, and all that. It's great to see everyone back, well, except for one character from Looney Tunes. If you haven't heard what happened with this character, you can research the character's name and hear about it in articles. And if you don't know who he is, the character is basically Pepe Le Pew. He's pretty much dead right now. He pretty much doesn't exist anymore in Looney Tunes. And hell, he's not even on this shirt that I'm wearing here because I've got bugs on it. And even I've got another shirt from Looney Tunes. Would you like to see it? Okay, hold on a sec. And hell, he's not even on this shirt either. So he's pretty much dead now. As for its story, the story wasn't great. It's not the worst written story I've seen for a film. The story I thought could have been a little bit better because there were few moments in the film I kind of felt were a bit boring. They weren't the ones that wanted to make me fall asleep or anything. Cause I wasn't like, oh, this is just so boring. I just want to go home. I wasn't like that. I was just kind of like waiting for something to pop up that I thought it was going to be amazing. That I thought it was going to be like pretty cool or something. The story I thought could have been a little bit better. Again, it's not the worst written story I've ever seen for a film in history. Again, it could have been a little bit better. And the runtime, I kind of found that way too long. The first film was only an hour and 27 minutes, while this one's under 2 hours. This is an hour and 55 minutes. I kind of felt that it could have been a cut short, despite even just because, like I said, there were some scenes I found a bit boring, and it could have been a cut. I think there was a few. I think it could have been a cut. I think it could have been cut shorter instead of being way too long. But like I said, there were some moments I did enjoy, but which we'll get into right now. The basketball game. The basketball game I did enjoy, although it's not as memorable as the original film. There were some moments I did like in the basketball game. Um, but there were some moments I just didn't really feel that much. I just couldn't remember that much. And like I said, there are tons of references to basically every single Warner Brothers property that's in this movie. They even do show up at the basketball game, which I found that insane, because it's like I said, the concept of the film is just basically like Ready Player One but for kids. With having every single Warner Brothers property at a basketball game that's sort of like made in the video game world. Which I thought it did look really cool when I first saw the trailer back in April of this year. So in the end, Space Jam: A New Legacy. Again, I wouldn't say I'm not with the critics on this film who say this is absolutely terrible. This is definitely not the worst film of all years for me. Again, it's obviously not as good as the first one. I didn't expect this to be as good as the first. I was expecting it just to be just sort of good like the first one, but it wasn't as good as the first. Again, it was just half decent and just okay at the same time for me. Because like I said, there were some moments I did enjoy, but there were a few issues with the film I thought could have been a little bit better, and a few that I thought were just a bit disappointing for me. But if you were a fan of the first film, like myself, if you're dying to see the sequel, if you missed your chance to see this in the cinemas, you can either buy the film for yourself on your own physical media of your choice, like DVD, Blu-ray, or 4K, whatever your choice is. Or if you don't want to do that, you can if you even want to rent it or anything like that on at home, you could do that if you want. So yeah, if you like I said, if you just missed your chance to see this in the cinemas back when it was released, you can either just buy the film on your own with your physical media of your choice, or just want to rent the film wherever you want to watch it. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about Space Jam: A New Legacy. I'm gonna give Space Jam 2: A New Legacy 3 out of 5 stars. Again, I'm totally not with the critics on this film, because again, critics did not really like this one. Well, audiences seem to enjoy it. So again, it wasn't the worst film of all years for me. If I would have to pick a film between this and Tom and Jerry, I would have to go for this one. Even though if I was forced to watch Tom and Jerry, I would, just for Tom and Jerry though. But for this one, I would watch it just to see a lot of the references again. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching for my AK After a Store review on Space Jam: A New Legacy. Let me know what you think of the sequel, if you did see this already. If you did see this in cinemas, or if you just recently watched this. Just let me know what you think of it. Did you absolutely had a great time with it, or were you very let down with this one? So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for more reviews. And of course, Christmas is coming. I'm really looking forward to Christmas. I've got a lot of reviews to do. I'll be doing a couple reviews, some to do with Christmas, and as well as some upcoming stuff, which I'm looking forward to the end of this year. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, this has been Falcon's Media Corner signing off.